as a core role, he will tend to farm a lot more, which disrupts his very active play.
And you want him to be very active?
Yeah, I prefer him to play a rather active role where he doesn't need to farm as much. Heroes like maybe even a bat rider in the mid position could be something. It's rare since Alliance has played it, but it's just something where I think he would be more comfortable on for the team as well. That he can just play that action hero, where he doesn't need to farm creeps, but he will make a lot happen for the team.
So more like tempo control, like your puck, Queen of Pain, that kind of initiator.
Something like that.
Well, it looks like he won't be able to get to play Queen of Pain because that hero is taken by a Vega Squadron here in the draft, and we can actually take a look at what Monkey Freedom Fighters has gone for. It is the Shadow Fiend and the Tusk. Is the Shadow Fiend one of the heroes that you feel like he farms on too much if he indeed will go take that one middle? Because I know that sometimes they take a safe lane for as well.
That's true. I would assume it's going to be a Rise SF middle.
It's a Radiant SF mid as well. That makes the stacking much easier. But in terms of farming too much, I feel like Shadow Fiend has a pattern per se, because you have a specific timing, right? Like, you get to level 5, you get level 3 raises. Hopefully you camp the stack, you raise it down, you get 6, 7, and then you continue to kind of snowball that.
No doubt, I think the thing is with the Rise, as a carry mid in this scenario where he has a Shadow Fiend, he's going to do well in the lane. Mm-hmm. Usually 1-on-1, he's completely fine in almost all matchups against players. But the problem I see with him is when he plays a carry mid, that he wants to join fights, and once you have that commitment where you think more of joining a fight rather than split pushing, getting an advantage out of pressuring other lanes, you commit time to helping out, and if that fails, then you waste even more time. So he doesn't have the mindset that to really carry, like as a carry role.
So it's the age-old carry debate of, should I join the fight or should I farm?
Exactly. Once you have that conflict, you should not really think about, you should know when you can get something out of the fight, but most likely you just focus on farming. You just get your core items to get a mech, like no one did in the previous game. You get your core item, but you focus on farming. You don't want to be the hero that initiates the fights.
Right. So we're looking at maybe other members of MFF to initiate some fight. Tusk, for example, is a good one.
If they sit around him, they make sure he farms. He gets the most out of it. This can for sure work out.
10 seconds remaining.
It's still. I think they're going to have a hard time.
5 seconds remaining.
Okay, so we do see Quap and Dazzle on the other side for Vega. Dazzle, one of Vega's most picked heroes. The win rate is kind of mediocre for a team like Vega, who has actually won a lot. It's only like 60-70%. So it's a hero that they feel very comfortable with because of the vision that it creates, especially during nighttime, and it gives you some strong fight. And the monkeys get themselves an Ember Spirit, which looks like Sing's hero.
I really like the Beastmaster ball actually for Monkey Freedom Fighters.
I wouldn't be too surprised seeing an aggressive trialing here by Vega.
By Vega?
Yeah, it fits the pattern just because if you have a Shadow Fiend middle, you want to help out that hero. And Ember Spirit is pretty weak in the early stage of the game, so if you pressure that lane, Queen of Pain will have a better time at 1-on-1 time. And that way you have to decide where you help out. Do you want to help out your Ember Spirit, which is going to be... It's going to be really hard to help an Ember Spirit on a side lane, or do you even dodge on an Ember Spirit and you potentially go on an off lane because you expect a contest?
We saw that earlier today.
Yeah.
Where they did that. Yeah.
They dodged the Lich Doom.
Yeah.
But you have to rotate well. You have to read the opponent on how they lane and what you want to do against it. Or what often happens is that you support a lane really hard in start, and then once they will establish, like let's say on Ember, you reach like level 5 and your shield is level 3, you have a pretty decent chance of surviving.
You just leave them alone then. Yeah. Okay. I think that's the important part, getting to the levels, because if you do a defensive tri-lane to support the Ember Spirit, then that's also the concern, whether he's going to get to level 5 in a decent time.
And that's a second ranged hero here on the side of Vega Squadron, where you could just play a harassing lane.
Okay.
Where all you focus on is that the melee carry on the Ember Spirit in this case, he doesn't have a good time on the lane. You just try to push him out of the lane. And as well, once you hit like level 2, 3, you can can potentially kill
10
him as well.
seconds remaining.
I'm also glad that you brought up the offensive trialing for Vega, because Vega's one of those teams that
5
run
seconds remaining.
offensive trialing in this patch more than other teams. They really like giving Mag that 1v1 matchup
Reserve
on
time.
the safe lane.
Yeah, they do.
He's very comfortable farming. I remember seeing a game where he played Beastmaster where he got like 11-minute Necro 1.
And they were only fighting bot lane the whole time.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
just left alone, and at some point he had Necro booked, and it's like game over because he was left alone there the whole time.
So it's a playstyle they're very comfortable with. And like you said, there's a fairly good opening going to either harass the Shadow Fiend or Ember. But alright, does that deter you from doing offensive trialing? Because Lich, sure, he's not exactly the best in terms of 3v3, but he's really good at sapping that experience. So if you don't get those early kills, then you might really lose out on the experience game.
At the same time, if you get a hero that has a bit more armor from on Vega to actually dive with, Lich is gonna pull the creep wave towards the tower of that Ember Spirit, making it easier in theory to dive and to take the tower really fast. I mean, it works both ways, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
It can be a mechanism. Usually on Radiant, if you play a Lich on your save lane to get the creeps into the tower, you...
That is
works out.
safe lane, by the way. Mag Brewmaster actually used to play that a lot in the off lane.
Okay.
That's no longer that popular, but they still play it a lot in a safe lane, solo safe lane in this case. Unless they want to do dual lanes, which is of course always a possibility as well.
10 seconds
Dual
remaining.
lanes works. I'm not a fan of the Lich pickup. I think it makes the
5
lineup too weak.
seconds remaining.
Lich should only be played as the support per se on an off lane. I personally don't like it on the safe lane just because what happens is you will just get overrun. Okay. Creep wave is gonna go into a tower and then you basically just walk by the creeps, get doved. Yeah, and you just get dove.
Well, what about your Lich Tusk dual off lane? You pick up a good defensive support for Ember, and then you get your Shadow Fiend mid. A 2-1-2, but again, it's weak to that trial lane that you talked about that could come offensively.
Yeah. You probably want to focus on this. No, actually, well, what am I saying? You can't focus on the Shadow Fiend lane. Queen of Pain is not gankable by these heroes. Tusk, you're not a
They lack lockdown. They just like lose a lockdown.
Well, Ember's really good at that.
Are they still going for a slaughter?
I always think that they will dodge with Lich Ember on the off lane.
Yeah.
And then you have a
10
Tusk plus 1
seconds
short.
remaining.
Just that Tusk plus 1 on the short lane. Just
5
it doesn't
seconds
seem that great.
remaining.
So it could be even something on short lane. Tusk helps out middle, maybe.
What about Lich helping on middle? Lich
works,
is
but
nice in stacks.
The problem is if you move Lich towards the mid lane, then Ember can't stay on the off lane.
Yep. It feels like there's too many problems already.
You just like start the thing. I think the beginning is very standard. It's not like you haven't seen these three heroes before. Tusk, Ember, and Shadow Fiend are probably one of the strongest early picks you can get, right? But I just think a Lich follow-up to help this out, where you in theory could have a Dazzler, you know, like always Dazzler is picked here, but just a strong support that helps you live through these fights. Undying is common as well to see, to just make up for a weak early game that an Ember Spirit has, because you want him to be fed, you want him to be reckoned with, and if he doesn't get early BOTs, which is common, and then follow-up boots of trouble, he just falls off very heavily.
Seems like Monkey Freedom Fighters also have a tough time deciding what they go for, and they end up going for the Rubik. That looks like a Tusk core, and that is a defensive hero to have on your lane, Rubik.
Well, the thing is, he's very weak in stats, and if you just run at the Rubik, he only has telekinesis to kind of repel you back, so...
Sure. But he has telekinesis. At least he's one more disabled.
He has something. He has something. And of course, it gives him some offensive capability now, but oh my goodness, it's an Ursa pick.
In Ursa pick last. I was not expecting that. Nope.
Alright, before you ask, oh, you know what? My prediction
Yes, do it.
for Vega is that they just have too many things that needs lockdown.
Okay.
And I don't feel like there is enough lockdown. With that said, though, if Sing Sing gets good chains off, whether against Queen of Pain or Ursa, they could have the necessary control to deal with them. So
No pressure, Sing.
I like Vega's lineup a little bit more because I like my Fuzzy Wuzzy on the diver side.
I mean, I usually would go with the underdog, but I just think that Monkey Freedom Fighters, they went with a draft. It just doesn't work out on paper. I just don't think there's synergy. You have a Tusk Rubik laner, probably with a Lich and Ember off lane. That's what I'm guessing. And your gank potential isn't there. the spells that Rubik gets are actually not that great. You can get a Queen of Pain ulti, you can get a Blink, and potentially the Brewmaster ultimate, which is still hard. If you survive the fight, yes, you have a chance to get that, but your lanes are just not that strong. Your final fight is not really there. By that, Vega Squadron is probably going to win this.
Well, we're going to find out if our commentators agree or if Monkey Freedom Fighters are going to make this a 2-0. It is time for Monkey Freedom Fighters taking on Vega with Odie Pixel and Draskell.
Indeed, welcome back to Monkey Freedom Fighters versus Vega here. Game 2, right around the corner. We've just got a quick pause at the moment in game, so don't worry, you're not missing anything at home. But indeed, Andy, Fuzzy Wuzzy's picked up, and is this the game for him, you reckon?
I think with the combination of Disruptor and the control of the Brewmaster, Libby had a really solid point of maybe MFF are lacking a little bit in disables during the team fights, but if an Ursa gets isolated against these heroes, he's not going to be able to do anything. Like Snowball, Sigil's going to follow you around on top of that, and you're just going to have a bad time between the lift. Even Frost Armor can slow you down a little bit. We saw how frustrating that can be earlier when we saw Alliance play against MFF and they had some melee cores. They just didn't really fare too well against it, so I think that in some ways MFF are trying to be a little bit greedy with their lanes. I'm wondering if the Ember is not going to be just partnered with a Rubik instead. So the way that I see it is, Hani said that he thought it would be Ember Lich, which obviously makes an easier lane for Ember. That part is true.
Out,
But I would also say that if you put Ember with Rubik, you're solving the issue of Rubik not really being the best early game damage hero, where Searing Chains and Flame Guard can make up for the fact that your hero pretty much doesn't do much else other than lift, right? So that part to me I think might be, again, who knows? I think MFF, if they have a solid laning phase, they have a decent amount of damage during the mid game. They have a couple of good ways to start team fights, and I think that it's actually quite difficult for them to hold down Ember. What I think is more likely to happen in fights is that Vega will probably just try to put him in the air with the Brewmaster, and then kill everyone else, because they're far less mobile and less annoying, to be honest, so.
Yeah, I mean, talking about the Ember, we've obviously seen 2 games already where things played it. They haven't gone too greatly. They were against Alliance. Do you think this is, compared to the kind of lineups he was against in the first 2 games of today, this is a better game for the Ember Spirit?
I think if the Queen has a good start and you see an early Orchid come out, it could be really rough for him, okay? And it's going to be up against an SF, so the question is, how hard are Vega going to try to pressure the middle lane? Are they just going to let no one go 1 versus 1, like all out against Arise? Because I still think that Queen wins that lane, and you should have an Orchid like latest 17 minutes, you know? Yeah. So I'm thinking that that's always going to be a concern for them. If it does happen, then I think it could be a rough game.
Okay. Yeah, I think you said, if you get to 17 minutes, and that's going to be way before Beaver Knight's got anything like a BKB or a Manta, if he does decide he needs one against the Orchid. So that's certainly going to be there for Vega. And in terms of kind of closing this game off, I guess if it goes particularly late, Arise and Sing Sing on the Ember and SF should be in a pretty good place. So would you imagine the Vega are going to look to be the more aggressive as soon as they get the blink of the Brewmaster?
I do think so.
They're just going to go for it.
I think they want to control Roshan. Like, they have sustain, right? They banned out AA, I believe, second phase after taking Dazzle, which is very common. Like, any team who takes Dazzle typically does that. So you're going to be able to get Roshan at any given point, and you don't really need to commit a lot to it, which makes their team very strong at kind of snowballing. 15, 20 minutes, you could probably get that under your belt. And then you get Blink on the Brewmaster, you get Blink on the Ursa, you have Queen on top of that, you have insane initiation. You can just jump on somebody and kill them before MFF have a chance to react. So there is a really good chance that Vega could get carried away and just pretty much do what MFF did in the last game to them. But again, it all depends on how the lanes work out. I think that Vega, on paper, I do agree with Hani that their lineup is probably better, more well-rounded. Okay. But in the ultra late, like if we're talking 50 minutes, Arise has BKB. The Ember doesn't really care about the disable at that point because you'd assume he'd have Manta, stuff like that. A BKB Shadow Fiend just punches the Brewlings and they die. So your Brewmaster is going to have to carry the mid game, I feel, and not look to make that transition to go past like 45 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of lanes, do you reckon it is just going to be dual lanes from Vega? Will they send Solo with Mag on the off lane, or will they leave Mag on his own and have Solo help to guard up Pashu Bashu that was seen in the Disruptor?
Like, what I originally thought was it was going to be Yapsor and Sing bottom.
Yeah.
or like top, like wherever they want to put the Ember, and then Demon away 2 would just be in the other lane. Because I think that giving a Tusk a really good start, getting him level 6, helping to have that little bit of control, you can bully the supports even with a hero like Tusk if you have that Lich with you. And if you get that early 6, I mean, hell, you could even go for kills. So I think that there is some validity to that strategy, but the game is on pause now, so we can hop in, see what the lanes are going to shape up to be.
Yeah, let's have a look here. So anyway, I mean, this series as a whole, obviously the odds weren't great for MFF being able to take it, but with that game 1 victory, they're going to certainly have the momentum, or at least, yeah, mentally, going into game 2 to try and take the full series against Vega. But yeah, no holds barred, the thing being held back here from Vega with the Ursa pick. They're ready to go, and they're ready to go ham against the side of MFF.
They've run this in the past too.
We've seen it with the old Ursa and Dazzle combination, absolutely, yeah. There are some pretty signature heroes here for the side of Vega. And so is MFF, so he's going to find himself the side of Vega here. With the lead in at the moment, just eyeing each other up. MFF may be a little bit more careful about going for the ring now that they realize Vega's in the neighborhood.
Yeah, they just go for top.
Yeah. They don't want to fight this in Yapsor. He's going to get many glimpses back, and while the slow's there from Hasher, they'll get a dagger into him as well, and he's going to be your first blood there.
Oh, that's real bad.
Going to the mid laner. Yeah.
He's going to get first blood and rune. Oh boy.
Yeah, you already talked about the fact that Corp should have the edge here against the Arise, and yeah, that's going to make it a little bit easier for no what.
The battle.
Yeah, way 2 is not even denying mid, he's denying top. So it's going to be a full creep wave, which means Queen is going to hit level 2 after... it's the same CS. You don't get enough experience from getting first blood like that to actually hit 2 significantly faster, so... Hopefully for Arise he can play this well, but it is not the ideal start.
I mean, we also talk about Arise's Magnus, but I've got to say SF's probably up there as well as one of his heroes that we see him do the best on.
He plays it a lot.
He does play
so, I mean, any mid player pretty much plays SF, right?
Jimmy?
Like,
he's having a bit of fun here in the trees. Well,
he's having a bit of dead.
He's alright. I've only got 1 level here, Seema, just had the glimpse, so no Thunderstrike. Nonetheless, the harass certainly big there from the side of Vega. So top lane, it is the solo Brewmaster from Mag on the top, and they're running this aggressive tri-lane against obviously this lane. And they'll have the glimpse underway, so this is having a bit of fun down at Vega, playing with the heroes of MFF, and
it's a lot of damage, actually.
He's got to get himself out of there. Don't know if he goes down.
Nah, he doesn't. He needs tango, though. He might die if he doesn't tango.
Oh, Jesus, 4 HP.
That was close.
I mean, the MFF struggling down here at the moment. The Vega support's going pretty ham on the side of Monkey Freedom Fighters.
If they go full aggro, probably just assuming that if they want to go dual lanes, again, you're not really going to be getting much out of the Lich lane, so they're just ignoring that completely, kind of what MFF did before, just ignoring the Doom. Same mentality. Okay, we don't typically want to commit a lot to that, but the thing is, if you try lane against the Lich, and he's denying nonstop, you just tower dive them. Like, how are they going to stop it?
Go. Pash's just moving in onto Demon. They've got a glimpse as well for the scene, but the snowball will come out straight away. But the Fury swipes are starting to build up. Glimpses there in 4 seconds. Demon trying to hide in the trees.
Alright, that path.
Oh, these dupes.
No, he can't live. There's no way. I mean, valiant effort. But still probably dead.
10 out of 10 for effort there from Demon.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's gonna get down.
He knows those woods very well.
I mean, this is the kind of plays from Vega that you imagine to see. Just this pushing past the tier 1 at 2 minutes in, killing heroes, and getting away with it with no kind of consequence, being fired back at them from MFF.
It's just a really nice solution to playing against Lich lanes, because it's so often nowadays that we see dual lanes, right? So in a dual lane, it's much harder to utilize the fact that there's being sacrifice spams, because two-man tower diving is much more dangerous than having 3. Like a third person to toggle aggro to, a third person to throw out an offensive spell, like a slow on a Dazzle, for example. I mean, that is insanely helpful. No one getting very low here mid, almost actually dying. Very risky. But
talking about the mid anyway, it's obviously going very good for the co-op. 13 for 5 against the 8 for 1. Certainly having the favourable time. On the upside though for MFF, the Ember Spirit, Sing Sing, is farming a lot better than the Ursa on the side of Vega, but of course Ursa has managed to find himself an involvement in a kill or 2. So there's the trade-off there, Rise. Taking a bit of harassment here from no one, getting low. He's not going to want to blink up for that one though, because Lich is hanging around there. So Seema finding himself some levels in the jungle with the pulls.
Yeah, this early game is Definitely going well for Vega at the moment. The only thing that's going well for them is top. Like, they always prioritize Sing, as most teams do at position 1, but again, I feel like he's going to have to play aggressive very early. Like, he's going to have to help his team set up kills. Searing Chains into Raze is a kill even on a hero like Queen of Pain, which I feel is going to be very strong for them.
Yeah, it's certainly looking good for Vega, indeed. It's going to be down to Sing. He wasn't able to pull it off on the Ember Spirit in the first 2 games today, and we'll see him do something a step up this match. So far, the beginning for him has been very good, though. Pretty much not having a lot of issues with the Mag Brewmaster. Mag's not been able to do too much to slow down his farm until 22-11 against the 8-0 on Brew. So Simpson's going to be pretty happy mid lane, no? We'll have to blink himself away there. bo2 still hanging around here with a Rise, trying to allow the SF to catch back up.
Fortified.
Oh, that room would be so nice for him, but... Well, actually, I guess you could argue it's equally good for Rise in this situation. Being a Shadow Fan, getting that regen, that is actually the dream.
Bottom lane though, 4 minutes and a half in.
Dead, Jesus.
Jimmy, you might not want to reveal the fact that you're there, because Pasha's just going to try and go on you. There's 2 supports moving in as well.
It's still dead though.
He's got a TP.
Oh, he does have a TP, he's fine. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, couldn't quite get the vision there with the kinetic field. If they didn't follow it up with a glimpse, they would have
If
got
that was even like 100 range to the right, I would have seen
it. It was so close.
And then he was dead.
So close. But nonetheless, you know, it's a town for Vega. They forced Jimmy out of the lane.
Yeah, but what is their counterplay now? Like, what happens if Vega just running at you with their supports, Ursa? Or better yet, what if Pasha just buys a Morbid Mask and, he kills Roshan? Like, what are you gonna do?
I mean, he's got the money for it. It's gonna be interesting to see what he does spend it on. If he does get that lifesteal now, he's saving it up. I mean, is he thinking of maybe getting an early blink first, or is there not really a situation where you go for that over getting some lifesteal here on the SF?
Oh, you could definitely go blink. It just depends on what your game plan is, right? Like, do we want to tower dive the SF and the Lich? Because neither of those heroes have a disable. I mean, that sounds like a good option to me, you know? Okay. It just depends. Like, some people in this situation might even just go for Phase and Orb of Venom if they want to just go for, like, really fast movement speed and just one hit usually equals a kill.
They need to do this. They need to kill Sing before he's hit level 6, and they might not even do it here. He's got the Flame Guard up, trying to walk this one off. Okay, they get the kill then. That's a big one. Shutting down Sing before he hits 6. He was having pretty much a perfect time CSing on the top lane. So it's a big kill lane for Vega.
Yeah, interesting build, by the way. He opted not to get ulti at 6.
Oh, that's...
Yeah, I mean,
that is very interesting.
No, the Queen, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, is there a reason for that?
This was more common back when Sonic Wave was still magical damage.
Okay.
But nowadays, it being pure, I can't really see a reason for skipping it most of the time, unless you just don't have the mana pool. Like, that's usually the one thing that you say is...
This. I mean, this is the dream for Vega.
Perfect.
This is the dream.
He's got the Morbid Mask.
And he's got a DD. Bashy straight in onto the Roshan, sorry.
This is going to be a huge momentum swing for Vega. Their heroes are going to get like a level, I think, a piece off of this, somewhere around there. Maybe not now that no one's here, but... Yeah, this is very hard to stop. And I really gotta say, like, after that first game, they got probably a little bit disappointed with their overall performance. This time they had a great game plan. It's going very well for them up until this point. They still almost got a full level. It was like 5 experience short.
I think this is pretty much the Vega that people kind of expect us to see in game 1 of this series. This is the kind of dominance that you'd expect from this sort of team.
And look at how aggressive they are, man. They're just placing wards in the jungle. They're ready to go.
I'm way too on your eyes. They've got to be careful.
I think Pasha actually goes blink before finishing his boots in this game too. I think he was the one I've seen do that build in the past.
And as you said, you know, when they're playing this way, you know, with the want to dive, the want to catch out with the glimpse, with the shallow grave as well, of course, allowing Pasha just to aggressively chase down these heroes, the blink's going to be pretty huge if they can get good timing on it.
Yeah, I really like the way that they've picked this game. Makes a lot of sense. Just anticipating the dual lanes from MFF put them at such an advantage because they already knew what they wanted to do against it. Like, they picked their 2 supports very early, good aggressive supports that you can dive with, get your sustain on top of that. Nice TP there from Demon once again. But this puts MFF in a spot where they need to try to regain control of their jungle. Like, they need to start being very, very careful about their movements as well. They need a D-ward. You can already see they dropped 1 sentry mid. They know that Vega want to play aggressive. They just need to find the wards.
Rise's farm in the mid lane is still not too bad here for the man. He's getting a bit of space here. He's got the defensive supports position behind him, just in case Vega wanting to jump on him, but
got it.
Not really yet to put too much pressure on the mid lane, Vega. This might change now, though, as we are seeing a movement from them across the jungle and straight in onto Way2.
Yeah.
Way2's no one has to do anything about that. That's all taken care of.
I convey your spirit.
And they do, of course, have this sonic wave from no one, so they may very well stick around for this.
Middle tower.
So let's see them hanging around on the sidelines.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And they've got to be careful here, MFF. I think they realise that Vega's ready to pounce. And the glimpse onto a rise. The kinetic field won't trap him. It's a little bit unsuccessful there with the catch, and nonetheless, if they did even find it, they might have thought twice about jumping in. Talking about jumping in with Pasha, just a few hundred away from the blink. And now this is the go time. They've got a sonic wave here, bursting down a rise. No one getting low. He doesn't care. Just continuing with the push forward. The roof's being dropped down. He will have to back himself away, and the tower is nearly killing him. But he's got the shallow grave. He's going to be fine. People are now turning up. It's because he'd be some massive cleanup kills here for Sing Sing. He's found the quad. Can you find anything more here? There are 3 heroes and Pasha moving in as well. Sing Sing potentially in a lot of trouble here. He's glimpsed back. The slow won't get him there with the clap. But now Demon's turned up. Matt gets the ult off. And he's going to see what he can catch out here. Demon's going to try and run with the Thunder Strike on him. The stun there from the Earth element of the Brewmaster split. Demon's going to go down. Pasha's still somehow surviving.
Radiant
And saving the Aegis here.
under attack.
And the fight may just continue because Arise has come back into the TP. He's looking for the raises. The Fade Pulse going to be the thing to drop Pasha. And now Beavenite remnanting back in. He's going to look to hold his aggression here for Pasha. And that's a big kill. Another kill here for Sing Sing. Getting the kill onto Ursa. And this is the kind of appearance that MFF need to be having from Sing Sing. Getting himself a couple of kills and involved in the action. So not bad there from MFF in terms of holding on against Vega's fight in the mid lane.
I think the biggest mistake that Vega actually made was not just buying Blink on Pasha before they started that fight. Like, he had the money. He had like 2,350 gold, I believe, when the fight started. And he obviously bought the Blink before he died. But if he had it, he would have been able to kill Sing. And Sing was able to walk away due to kind of a mistimed glimpse there, which allowed him to also get back into position to kill Ursa after the Aegis had already faded. So a lot of things could have went better. And now with the Blink,
Sing Sing's not done either. He's ready to go. He's got the Invis go straight in here now with the storm. Oh! Double kill for Arise. Oh! They might just find Mag here as well. Mag will just get himself out, but now Solo has been soloed off from the rest of the group.
that was nice.
And I think they might just find this as well. There's no positive slight fist here on Sing Sing, so he didn't have the full catch, but yeah, they'll just run him down. Solo's going to get taken down here as well. He will grave himself up. But oh, look at Demon.
He mistimed it even after all those cancels. Come on, Jimmy.
Come on, Jimmy.
Warrior.
Mid, Arise actually almost died too. He would have died had there not been ice armor on him from the Lich still kind of lingering, but...
Oh, the Monkey Freedom Fighters.
Dude,
they're playing. They're certainly playing some Dota too here.
I was like really favoring Vega,
Yep.
and then I saw that snowball into Raze that hit on 3, and then Arise just picks up like a super easy double. Stuff like that is so game winning for this composition.
It really is. And Sing Sing, of course, keeping up his appearance in these fights. Doing very well for himself here. And so it's going to be interesting to see if for the next Roche attempt, MFF do try and contest with Vega.
They might. I mean, I think by the time Roshan's up again, there will most likely be a mech on the SF.
Okay.
They're going to get the tier 1 down. I don't think Vega are going to be in position to contest this in time. I guess a lot of it starts to boil down to where's your Queen ulti, you know, your Brewmaster split, your Static Storm. There's still a lot of teamfight potential coming out from Vega. They just got a little bit caught off guard there. So while MFF have got themselves in, they want more.
Need to use the ult here. Probably not going to get a chance to do so though. Can he get it off? No, yes he can. Gets it off just in time. Will try and turn and fight here. Has the backup of Solo moving in on the Dazzle. Seems to get chucked up into the air. Pasha coming in. Would love to find Demon here, or at least they pick up, and there we go. Pasha straight in onto the Tusk. We'll get themselves one kill. Breathe the night. Hanging about. Chucked up in the air again by Mag. Mag's incredibly low here. Needs to get himself out. Still no points in the slight of fist here for Beaver Knight. So we'll be able to chase that. Way2 is moving in, and they do have a Chain Frost here. They can find a nice Searing Chains. Searing Chains into Chain Frost would with Toad the Biscuit. Zolo gets ball back in. Just get off the Shadow Blade in time. The Sonic Wave comes out, and now Pasha moving on to Vivanite. The Static Storm as well. The bounces from the Chain Frost there between Pasha and Seaver. The ult comes out for Arise. He just gets Disruptor, but they do lose Sing Sing in this fight. Can he find anything more? Arise? He's looking for Mag. Can't quite get it. Now no one's turned up. Arise pots the chances. He can keep himself alive. No, not long enough to find another kill. It's a double kill for no one. Now he moves forward, but there we go. Jimmy John there with a punch up and now moving in. Gets the kill onto Bashi Bashi. Yaps on way to slowing down there. The stolen Sonic Wave onto Mag. Gets the kill onto Blue. No one blinks forward. Does find the kill. Picks himself up a triple kill. You've got Demon chasing down Solo. He's got the shards. He's also got a snowball here in 4 seconds. And Solo, I don't think he gets out of this one. They've got the snowball. They've got the punch. And here's Jimmy stepping it up for the guys. Well, they can't get it though. Solo gets up to the high ground. He just turns around and punches no one in the face. He'll take the quad instead any day. Solo's still hanging around for this. But I don't know if Jimmy's done. He's got a shard. Okay, he's got to be careful because Seema is there. But Waitsu's also about as well, and he'll turn around with the Raptors onto Solo. Solo now trapped up, has to grave himself there.
He can't get out.
Sing Song Dilly Ding Dong's coming for the kill. Gets the kill onto Solo. And, I mean, these are the kind of messy fights we expect from Monkey Freedom Fighters, but they're doing them very nicely here. They essentially kill everyone on the side of Vega. And then they just lose 3 of their own heroes in the kind of the course of the last minute of that match.
I want to know how a Lich lives through that entire engagement. Normally Lich is like one of those heroes where you're looking at like, yeah, let's just kill a Lich, it's an easy kill, you know? But bo2, I think he got like, I don't know, 1 million Frost Blasts off that fight, roughly. Oh, they know he's there too.
Pasha. Alrighty, let's see how this one goes down. Maybe not too ideal with the Ursa. He put the ult here, trying to turn around, trying to eat onto Yapzor. He's got the back of his Solo. Mag's turning up as well. Does have the ult back available, but Dina's there also with the shard. Now there's a mental snowball onto Bashi Bashi. For Solo. Oh, what? Solo? Did he on the Shadow Grave?
I believe he did.
He didn't. Okay, he didn't. Calm your horses. Well, that's a big kill nonetheless. They lose the Rubik, but they find the kill onto Ursa.
Alright.
And I don't think Monkey Freedom Fighters are done. They're hanging around here looking for more. Sing Sing now with the drums complete.
MFF as well.
The drums are on the way out for Sing. Zeman, he's looking for the snowball in. 3 heroes at the moment here on the side of Vega. They do still have the primal split in the blue. They really want to fight Monkey Freedom Fighters.
They're going to defend their tier 1 for sure.
They want to go.
Like, Pasha's up, he's got his ulti, he's got his Mask of Madness.
Who's going to make the initial jump? Shards come out, and now with the remnant forward, Migos and Mag. Can they stop him again?
Nice,
the Static Storm, the Kinetic Field, and the Sonic Wave up to the Rise. They've lost the Rubik, they're going to lose the Shadow Fiend here as well. Almost certainly, and Monkey Freedom Fighters are just left to try and get themselves the hell out of there. Demon in the tree line, contemplating like, oh, does he get out of this?
No.
Oh, Glimmer Cape boys. Oh, no, Demon.
Actually,
Jimmy?
No, he doesn't get out. He does not get out. No way.
He certainly doesn't.
Alright, so that just showcased right there the difference between Seema landing his ult and Seema missing his ult. That is literally the only difference between those 2 fights, where we saw that really kind of stretched out 2-minute long fight where MFF were actually getting the favorable exchange. Only difference, that ult lands. Hits 2 heroes, one of which being a core, ends up killing the SF, the mech not really able to do much about that, and Vega take a fight pretty handedly.
Yep, they'll be very happy with that, and off the back of the fight, taking the tower as well, but oh, there's TP's coming in. Monkey Freedom Fighters aren't too happy about this. Siri changed onto 2 from Sing Sing, and they'll go in for the Mag kill. Can they fight it with the razors? No, Mag gets on the primal split just in time, and they might turn and fight, but there is Yapzor and Way2 here as well. They've got a Chain Frost. If Monkey Freedom Fighters want to go and Pasha straight on to Way2, he's going to go something with the Mech, keeping him alive. First out the Chain Frost as well, but Pasha, you're getting a lot of that damage there with the ult. May still go down with the sword with a punch up from Jimmy, allowing Sing Sing to pick that one up. The question is, can they go for anything more here? They're now an Ursa down. They're going to need to be careful. Solo pushing mid. May have been required there up on the top lane because they lose the Ursa. And it looks like they'll actually be the ones to lose the tier 1 first on the top lane. Solo. Demon. Oh, he wants to find Mag. There's going to be the shards coming out as well. Now Yapzor moving in. He's looking to try and control Mag, but the Static Storm's there. Even though moves forward, but he remnants himself straight into the ult Disruptor. Solo getting low, trying to turn it around with a heal bomb. But Monkey Freedom Fighters is just ready to chase down the Dazzle here. Solo's caught out. Fade bolt to the backside, brings down the Dazzle. And this, a lot of chaos in this game so far. 17 minutes in, 14 for 15. What the hell, middle lane, yep, sir? Alrighty.
God.
Seema the Slayer.
That was like...
Becomes Seema the Slain.
We didn't see it on camera, but basically what happened is...
Tower is under attack.
Yapsor got glimpsed when Seema had no mana for any other spell but Glimpse. And then because it's daytime, he got glimpsed back and killed by his own... Like, yeah, that was... Alright, whatever.
That's the next level glimpse.
That's Dota 2, as we like to call it. It's whenever you just go in and do something weird and you're like, alright, well, probably not the best play. But Roshan's back up. Would imagine that Vega are going to be trying to prioritize this, but given the fact that MFF have been showing that they can take fights on relatively equal terms, I wouldn't be surprised to see them just kind of come in. They're going to have their Chain Frost up in about 20 seconds. Everything else that they need is relatively short cooldown, you know, mechs up, even an Invis here on the rise. Could look for a solo kill with a Requiem here.
There we go. Here we go, we've seen this.
Nope. He needs to be right on him.
Come on, Rise.
There he is.
Oh, no, we missed! Oh, hello. We missed!
Oh my, Dan's game. That's alright, he's still dead.
It's alright, Jimmy's there to help. Guys?
He's dead. Yeah, he's gonna die, it's just gonna take longer.
A little bit messier than it needed to be. What a kill nonetheless there for Freedom Fighters.
Yeah, the raise was a bit off. Maybe he just overestimated the hitbox of the close range race.
Dire's top tower.
That's free Roshan there for Pasha.
Alrighty.
So a support for a Rosh, I'd actually be okay with that.
Has fallen.
Mac wants to go here. There'll be the glimpse back on to Sing Sing.
Oh, he did it too early. Oh, God, he did it too early.
There was the static storm down on the rest, so probably he was going to be dead. Like Yapzor's as well. 2 point
That's a
pickups
really
there
nice...
for Vega.
Top
Yeah.
tower is under attack.
Some very nice pickups as well, as you were saying.
Yeah, if he had used, I think, his ulti maybe even a half a second later, he probably would have gone to his ulti after the glimpse.
Tower is under attack.
This is like some weird travel time, right? Where you're not actually inside the ulti yet, where you can still have like triggered it.
He would have had to be spamming away on that.
Yeah, it's actually like such a short window that it's like, if you did it,
Dire's top tower
it's like highlight
is
worthy,
under
I guess.
attack. Radiant's middle
Rise is working towards that BKB on the SF. And when he has that, it's going to be a lot harder for Vega to take down the Glow. A fair bit of physical DPS, and of course with the
It's
pure
only
damage,
Ursa, actually.
Quad.
Like, outside of...
You can give him a few slaps. I mean,
Yeah, but when Bruisin is split, he actually does, like...
that's true.
Pretty minimal damage. Most of the reason that split is good is because it controls the fight. Like, you get the boulder toss from the Earth Spirit, and then you also get to be able to put somebody in a Cyclone. Like, that's the part that's good about it. It's not known for its damage output. Maybe old Aghanims was, where everything just got like the Brewmaster passive and everything had crit and evasion. That was kind of insane. But that was a very old iteration of the Aghanims upgrade, so...
Vega. Ready to try again for this tier 1 on the top lane. Last time, it wasn't a huge success story here for the boys on Dire. This time looks to be a bit of an easier push. No reaction from the side of Monkey Freedom Fighters as they'll let this one go. But if they do continue to push it, Vega, Monkey Freedom Fighters are going to be there with the fight as they do smoke up and move in. This could be big. Vega continue to push. Fairly grouped up as well.
This is really good vision too.
Let's see if Vega can, Monkey Freedom Fighters can capitalize on this. Even with the wraparound, the Fate Bolt bouncing through the wall. Who's going to make the initiation? Look how grouped up these guys are. Okay, shards are just coming out, so Vega, they're going to be a little bit spooked. Not too spooked enough to hold themselves back from taking down the tier 2. Still just waiting for the perfect opportunity to jump here, Freedom Fighters. The weave is down, no one now TP's out. Dean's going to go in the cape and try and get himself involved here, see if he can set something up here. He's going to be snowball through, but Mag straight away blinking out, waving onto those who gets the promise split off on the sidelines. The shots come out Seema, but it's a lovely static storm onto 3 heroes as well, nonetheless. Seems he's going to get glimpsed back here. He's going to slide a fist out, but it doesn't matter. The Chain Frost finally coming through, but it's a blast down the Disruptor. Solo's now on the retreat. Demon and Yapso chasing him down. The blast not able to do too much. No one trying to find Arise. Gets the silence on him before he gets the Requiem out. They'll get the kill onto Solo here on the sidelines. Arise has to TP himself back to base. Demon now trying to escape here from the Broodlings, and oh, they've lost one. They've lost Yapso. They're going to lose Demon as well. And a nice cleanup there from Mag at the end with the very final few seconds there of his ultimate thing.
Alright, so, correct me if I'm wrong, but no one TP'd away, right?
He did, yeah.
He TP'd away and then ran back.
He did. He realized, okay, I need to be there.
Yeah, if he was there at the start when he got that 3-man static storm, that fight would have been a complete massacre in favor of Vega. So yeah, that part of it was a little bit wonky. They do end up still trading. making the best of a bad situation here. And plus, with BKB on the Queen now, there is very little, if any, lockdown for this Queen of Pain, and that's going to be a little bit troublesome, I feel, for them. Because he can transition into more of like a right-click oriented build too. He doesn't necessarily have to go Aghanims. I feel like anything MKB, maybe even crit, some Queen of Pains have done it in the past, like that's going to be really great for him considering that BKB is going to be up soon on a rise. And I don't think you can just rely on Ursa this game.
No.
Ice Armor actually makes Ursa so miserable to play. I think that's actually why Pasha bought Mask of Madness. It's not for the extra attack speed, it's for the freaking movement speed, so Ice Armor doesn't just ruin your entire game.
Well, let's see what they do here on the bottom. They're ready for going for the tier 2. Monkey Freedom Fighters themselves looking for just tier 2s elsewhere on the map, getting the push out on the mid and top lane. Doesn't look like they'll be back to defend this one, so if they were able to get themselves a free tower here, up and down in terms of net worth as we can see, but still fairly close here between the two sides. No one in a irrecoverable position at the moment in terms of the gameplay, but they are going to have to get back and defend him in Freedom Fighters, because Vega, they're going up to the high ground. Pasha blinks straight in. The snowball's going to be there from Jimmy, and the War's Punch as well. I guess they're going to cape off.
Sigil down.
Let's see what Freedom Fighters can do on the defense here. Town now half health. The Fadeball coming out from Yapzor now with the shards forward, trapping a few of them. Let's trying to move in with the raises, just get one down, but Vega's still in pretty good positions thanks to sustainability offered by
Aegis is down.
Dazzle. Now moving forward here, what can he find? Searing Chains onto 2. The Static Storm gets dropped, a little bit of whiffed here, and they're just about to work it out. The Sonic Wave as well from no one, only catching 2. So Monkey Freedom Fighters still in a very good position to try and fight here. So just moving in with the slides, and Vega slowly backing themselves away. They get the weave down, and now Matt comes in with the Primal Split, gets it off as well. The kinetic field trapping up Demon, does get off the snowball, rise past the BKB, but still has to be very careful with his positioning. Demon goes for the old Duke straight through the fight in the Glimmer Cape as he walks around to the back sides of it all. He's going for the TP out. It's not going to work out. No one finds him in the tree line, so they'll get Jimmy. Monkey Freedom Fighters still moving in. Primal Split is now one off. Sing Chain get himself out, the raises from the last big but now the Chain Frost, these bounces are going to be bloody beautiful. Look at this go through the fight, they've found one, they've found 2, and now with Sing returning, they might just get Pasha, they will, they'll take down the Ursha as well here. Seema's looking for the TP out, wouldn't be able to make it, no, the glimpses, they're just in time, Seema!
Jesus.
Getting done in by his own glimpse there, as Yapzor with the plays coming out with the Rubik. And what a fight for MFF to take, a very nice fight indeed, 4 euros going down on Vegas, as they just were not ready for the amount of defense and catch potential that MFF had, especially when Yapzor's got himself a hold of the Disruptor's glimpse.
I think they kind of mistimed their push a bit, because when they were walking up, the Aegis was fading, right? So, I don't know. I think that, in a way, they felt like they needed to pressure, because they knew that it had a fresh BKB on Queen, but as you saw during the fight, when no one blinked in, he didn't really deal a huge amount of damage to anyone. Like, yeah, he got a couple of people to a little bit above half HP, but you can easily recover that. You got Tranquils, you know, you got Bottle Charges, and obviously Mech on the Shadow Fiend. Once that happens, the fight is completely reset. Your Ursa does not have BKB at this point, which I feel makes him a liability. So until he gets it, he has a very hard time sticking on target, which you saw.
Yeah,
Ember Spirit with Searing Chains, the lift. The only thing that he didn't have to deal with that fight was Sigil, because he killed it immediately after having blinked into base. So I don't really know if you can fight like that. You need to make sure that Seema lands a good ultimate. That has been what is continually winning them fights. Like when he hits a 3-man ultimate, 2-man ultimate, they win.
Well, Jimmy, he's putting his balls in it, and he's going to go for the TP. He's not going to make it. He's not going to make it. No. Rest in peace, Jimmy. Well, I mean, that's a pick up for Vega. 40 seconds that they don't have to worry about this toss. They're starting to move in on the bottom lane, but Monkey Freedom Fighters are grouped up here towards... They just smoked up. No, they're not smoking up yet, are they? No. Okay, they're just playing it cool. They don't want to look for any action without Demon on his tusk.
And this game is still very, very close.
It really is. I mean, we saw it just then. It may have felt like Vega had the power, but Monkey Freedom Fighters just shut them down on the doorstep.
Yeah, I think in longer engagements, MFF will almost always win, because they have heroes like Ember. Like, Ember excels in the drawn-out fights, and Sing needs to be real damn careful about where he is.
He does have a remnant out.
They don't have Queen, actually. That's a really hard kill without Queen. If no one's up there, I think that kill is pretty easy, but without the use of the Orchid...
And now that they've got the Mancer on Sing,
yeah,
it's going to be infinitely harder to catch him out.
Well, this is kind of an interesting game because I feel like on paper, Vega, when they get BKBs on both of their cores, are very hard to win against because of the cores that you have. Like, Ember is actually very reliant on magical damage for a good duration of the game. Like, even now, Sing only has Drum's Manta for damage items. That's not a significant amount of DPS through Sleight of Fist. He doesn't have, like, Daedalus Battle Fury or anything like that. Which means that you have Defensive Weave, which is all the armor in the world, 2 really high duration BKBs. That fight should be easy, in my opinion, but MFF are certainly making it work for it.
This is a bit of a problem though for MFF. They're letting Vega get the Roshan here, and that is going to be the cheese as well as the Aegis thing picks up. So now the next fight, going to be a lot harder for MFF to come out on top when they do with the defense.
Yeah, there's also potentially an Assault or a Shiva's coming out on no one soon.
See, did pick up the...
Oh, it is.
Yeah, Shiva's complete.
Excuse me. Yeah.
It is complete. He's got the plate now in the order. Yes, it does, yeah. Okay. Freedom Fighters smoked up at the moment towards the mid. Now they're going to have to just back themselves up and look for the defense, because Vega are going to come in hard with this push on the bottom lane. But the Shiva's picked up, the Aegis and she's ready to go as well. Let's see if Monkey Freedom Fighters can defend against it this time. It's going to be a lot harder. Here we go, straight up to the tier 3, Pasha leading the way. Orientation's going to come out here. And as we can see, only a rise with buyback.
This is full committal from MFF.
This is going to be such a hard fight here for the Radiant. Pasha getting low. It's going to be fine. Shadow Grave is there. They find the tier 3 and no one he's straight in with Mag as well. The Shadow Grave wants Demon. They're fighting kill to Tusk. Now Demon just trying to get themselves out of the stall. The Shadow Grave back onto no one. No one just fighting up against Sing. Sing will get held up in the air by Mag on his Brewmaster. Pasha trying to frontline this all. Has got the Aegis. He will go down once. They'll get the Aegis here. Now the Chain Frost bouncing in, but it only bounces once over to no one. Then with the blink out here from Mag. Pasha taking a full Requiem to the face. They don't have another Shadow Grave, so they're going to lose the Ursa. Now the change from 60 catching out Solo and Mag, rebelsing forward. Solo gets blown up. They're looking for Mag here as well, but the Shiva's from nowhere trying to turn it around. Even out as he gets a glimpse. No, he manages to dodge able to slide and they'll take down the Brew. They'll find Seema as well. Another successful defensive from Freedom Fighters.
That's a
that's
a disaster.
That's and they had Aegis and Cheese. Aegis and Cheese.
BKB. Like, watching Pasha in these fights is just pathetic. He can't sit on anyone. Like, he tries to go for the SF, he hits once, Ice Armor kicks in, he either eats a Searing Chains, he has a Sigil on him, he gets lifted, like, any number of things. Because look at it this way. The rest of Vega's team does no physical damage except for the Ursa. Your SF has BKB. The only person you need to disable is the Ursa. If he's not hitting your SF, and he's not hitting your Ember, your team fight is pretty much already won. So at the start of that fight, right, like, 2 people blink in, Mag goes in, no one goes in, BKB pops, manages to clip Shiva on 2. If the Sonic Wave had actually killed the Rubik there, I think maybe it would have been a better fight, but he was able to force Steph away. Then Pasha gets kited the entire time, he pops in Rage before his Aegis is popped, which allows the Requiem from the Shadow Fiend to actually bring him to like 30% as soon as he revives. At that point, you're already dead. Like, you can't do anything at that point, you just have to resign the fact that you're just gonna rip. But very nice defense from MFF and Vega. They gotta get it together. Some very sloppy fights.
And after those kind of last 2 defenses, you know, MFF now feel in a position where they are now able to look for the fights themselves. They come out on the bottom lane. They're ready to try and make a jump. And they're moving forward here, looking for Seema, if they could. Mag's there at the moment on the side, farming the Ancients. They've got this glimpse still on the Rubik. This is going to be pretty big in terms of catching someone out. We may even be able to send Pasha back if he comes in for the defense as he 2Ps in on the Ursa, if that's going to be the case, as he is still on the top lane.
LCP that's here too.
Yeah, he's got to play it safe here.
But he's still got 12 seconds anyways, so he's not going to be making his way down here just yet.
Looks like MFF not quite having the confidence to go all out on the bottom lane. Just keeping it safe and understandably so, because so far the defensive plays have certainly been working out in favour of the side of the Radiant.
I really hope that no one buys a right-click item sooner or later. Like, right now I think he's going Hex, which is also very good, but you've seen how difficult it is for Pasha to do shit in fights. Like, he can't touch anyone unless they're inside of a Static Storm or a Kinetic Field. Because Vega has such limited lockdown to allow him to hit a target, he has to rely on a bash. And since he doesn't have BKB, if he does not get that bash, he ain't hitting anyone.
Smoke up from Vega. Let's see what they can find there. Making a very nice movement here across towards that top lane where they will run into both Demon And of course, Arise are on the SF. But it looks like maybe they're ready for this. They're looking to try and catch anyone out from the side. Okay, now Demon's just going to fire the shots. So
these TPs are both down. Oh my god, they might both die here.
Oh god, in comes the barrel. They're going to look for them in this side spot.
Bishop. 1 second. Alright, oh my god. How... Alright.
How have they not found them? Oh, the sigil! Oh no, he's going to be blicked straight in it! Oh gosh! Jimmy has been rustled as the sigil came out, and he spotted it, that one, Ursa. They go for Rise as well. Sing Sing has now turned up, but he's got to get himself out of there. There's a sonic wave onto Rise. Hiding in the trees was not the play there for MFF. Yapso will be able to TP out. Sing Sing as well gets himself back, but losing 2 heroes there was not the play for
he could have just TP'd. Like, as soon as he got glimmered, like halfway through the duration of the glimmer, his TP was off cooldown. Like, why do you not just run there? You have to know that you are in some serious trouble.
I mean, he's had to buy back now as well. Arise realizing he is needed for this defense. If Vega decide to push it, nice glimpse onto Solo. They'll look for the first pick off of this fight. He might just get it as well. He pops down the reef, has the shallow grave here, and he accepts his fate, walks up to the high ground and says, "Take me." On the center
space, man.
Yeah. Oh, Rubik stole the shallow grave as well before they killed him, so
that's actually a very good spell to have.
Not a bad steal at all.
I mean, there's no cast point on that grave, so it's pretty much a better grave. Looks like a smoke potentially coming out here. Actually, could be a little bit early to smoke, I feel. Roshan's not going to be up for a little while. Might want to hold on to it. Oh no, they're just going to go anyway. Alright. They might have an extra.
Let's see what they can find here. They're going to look into their own jungle. They might catch out no one. There we go. Ooh, the chains. Very unfortunate.
Yeah.
Onto the 2 neutrals. Now Mac, he's got to get himself away. Remerson forward. Sing Sing's ready with the chase. They'll get the chains down onto this one. But Mac has got the primal split and he'll get it out just in time. The question is, can he live throughout the duration? He's being chased down here by Freedom Fighters.
He should be okay.
Yeah, Yapso's moving forward. They really want to try and catch him out, but the TPs are coming in from Vega. Vega's going to be there with the counter fight.
He's trying to steal Primal Split like so bad right now. Look at Yapso, he's like, please give me. Oh, he didn't get it.
The first stuff, he really wanted it. He really wanted it. Alright, he's going to have to stick with Shallow there for the time being.
Yeah, it was close. Yeah. If in those situations you want to force staff before the ulti ends and just spam spell steal on the Earth one, because that's obviously the one he goes back to, right? When he goes back to his normal form.
Yes.
So if you spam clicking it, sometimes you can get it before a blink, but it's very difficult.
I was in Abyssal Blade now on this air something. You talked about how he may have needed a BKB, but he says screw that. Let's just go full out aggression.
This means that if he does get to the SF, you should be able to kill him.
Sing Sing, one that's back into the lane. He's ready for the fight here. There you go. Having to play this one a little bit carefully. They back themselves up. Rise and Sing Sing moving forward. They get the chains onto Solo. Solo, won't pop the neck here. Continues to retreat. The shards are going to trap the Dazzle here. He has got the grave. He may just need to use it. Okay, here comes Pasha. Straight with the lockdown onto Yapso. Yapso gets himself to the side. Now with the smoke coming in for Demon. Rise, can he get off the ult here? Yes, he can. He gets one off Solo incredibly well. But now Rise is well. The grave, as you said, from Yapso. Keeping Rise alive. Allowing him to fight for it all. They found 2 kills, but they have lost 2 heroes themselves. North on the sideline, throwing out the dagger into Beavernight. Sing Sing backing up into the jungle. Demon as well, keeping it safe. So this is 2 for 2. No one's there. Can't do anything there to stop these TPs. Well, he can if he kills them.
He can just punch him.
He does. He punches the Demon to death with the daggers to the face. So 3 for 2. Vega coming out on top of that. The good news for Monkey Freedom Fighters, though, the fact that they don't lose Sing Sing. He has now got the Battle Fury complete as well. As we can see the XP and gold, of course, favouring the side of Vega there. Yeah, it's such a close game, Andy.
That initiation was just a little bit too strong from the side of Vega. Yeah. So I think at the start, I want to say that Pasha got stunned by a snowball. Like Jimmy had cast snowball.
Yeah, Jimmy just came straight across and hit him on the pass by.
And then it stopped the Ursa from dealing damage during the Abyssal Blade, which he pretty much popped as soon as he blinked in. So the SF actually lived for such a long time, and he should have almost immediately been dead, and that's also largely due to the fact that Yapso had stolen that grave. Yeah, so he's been playing a really nice Rubik, to be honest.
He has. I mean, look at the assists. He's been involved everywhere in this Rubik. 20 assists at the moment on him. He's, yeah, and 3 kills. So he's been involved in 23 of the 29 for side of MFF.
The real downside to losing that fight is this is another Roche for Vega. Like,
this is what the 4th Roche?
This is what you would call Ursa abuse, pretty much. Like in a pub game, if you're playing against a team who just gets every single Roshan for free because Ursa, yeah, it's Ursa abuse. So Vega taking advantage of that right now. And because again, MFF could not get the team fight they were looking for, there is no contention whatsoever, and that is a cheese as well on the Queen.
Yeah, but still, I mean, you got to admit, for MFF, this end of game for Sing, going better than the first series games did.
He's actually played solid like every game.
Oh yeah, but the team as a whole, this time with the Ember Spirit, is certainly feeling a lot scarier than it did in the other games because of the fact they've been able to keep Vega kind of on the same level. You know, there's no core on Vega that's getting themselves wildly ahead of that of Monkey Freedom Fighters.
Yeah, look at that. Is very true.
They really want to jump in on someone. Monkey Freedom Fighters have got to let this tier 2 go. There's no way you're going out when Pasha's down the high ground. Yep. They've got to be careful here. They've got to be really careful.
It's like the most YOLO Ursa build I think I've ever seen. Just Abyssal Blade, Mask of Madness, Blink. Forget BKB, man. Just go for the damage. Although I'm wondering if a later BKB isn't better for him this game anyway. Like, again, it's all about just hitting the target. So if you can still swing, and there's only 1 or 2 actual disables on the side of MFF that stop you, then I suppose it's just a matter of getting to the target, because once you're there, you just Abyssal and it should die. As showcased in the last fight. Even through a stolen grave, you still died.
And as we can see, I think Mag very close to finishing off that AC. Has he got the rest of it on the courier? He had the recipe on it. Yeah, he's got the plate now.
He's close.
The chainmail, isn't he?
Yeah, he's very close. I guess if you go this build on Queen, maybe your last item is just Refresher, since you have so many usable items. It's just very nice to synergize with that. I thought he would go for more of a right-click build to try to help out, just killing that BKB core, but it turns out he might not need it. As the BKB duration is getting shorter, it becomes less relevant to need to right-click at this stage in the game.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the plan is from Vega here.
Top tower.
So they want to try and force on the bottom lane again. And it looks like that's going to be kind of what they're focusing towards at the moment. Monkey Freedom Fighters are there again, ready for the defense. We've seen how this has gone 2 times before and it's not been pretty for Vega.
Just don't YOLO, man. Just freaking hit the buildings. Last 2 times, Vega just go ham. They die for it.
So, something going better so far. Half the damage done to half the racks. Moving in and Pasha straight into the Abyssal Blade. And the Hex off the Beaver now. They'll take down 16's down for 76 seconds. No buyback here on the Ember Spirit. This is the kind of fight that Vega were looking for before here on this aggression. Dina getting himself out, but Pasha just goes straight in. Telekinesis will by some time of the screen from no one finishes him off. Double kill for the quad. There'll be a buyback from Jimmy. Now with a primal split here. Looking to keep Monkey Freedom Fighters controlled in the base. As the rest of Vega turn their attention back towards the racks. The fortification will now come out. There's still this key time where there's 50 seconds without the Ember Spirit. And this almost certainly will be a full set of racks here for Vega. They're even looking for more kills. They're ready to throw Pasha straight back in. And they might just look for a second set of racks here. They'll find the bottom and they're making their way towards the middle. There'll be now a snowball moving in, but Pasha blinks forward. Not quite able to get anything off as the stun did catch him there. Now moving into the Static Storm. Got down in the center of it. Just want to catch him out, but now Yapzor on the wrong side of the fight. Taken down, 60 seconds for the Rubik. He does have buyback. 20 seconds before Sing's back. So it's going to be interesting to see how much Vega can do in this mid lane before Ember Spirit returns to the fray. Rouse is there with the raises, trying to bring down Vega. He's still in a position where there's still cheese on the crop. Still Aegis as well on this Ursa. And this is going to be almost certainly a second set of racks here. Now the buyback comes back from Rubik. Sing's back in the game. Can they get a cleanup? Kills telekinesis onto Pasha. He's going to do the shallow grave coming out. Now with the punch into Solo. He's actually out of mana, so they'll lose the Dazzle here. Almost certainly lose Pasha here once. I think Vega had to sack him twice. Arise, has he got the timing? Yes, he has.
Yep.
Double kill for the Shadow Fiend. But they did lose a full set of racks on the bottom, half the racks in the mid lane. So Monkey Freedom Fighters almost certainly have to look for something in return, and it's going to be a straight power down the mid lane here by the looks of it.
They're going to have to make a lot happen there. Yeah. That initiation was just too perfect from Vega. They get a Blink Abyssal and a Hex onto Sing, and since he doesn't have buyback, like as soon as that hero is dead, that is one of the best base defenders that they have at this point in the game. Like Sleight of Fist spam and Searing Chains, that is your bread and butter for an Ember team post the 40-minute mark. So I feel that MFF obviously in a very uphill struggle at the moment, but this is a tough one. I don't know if they're going to be able to come back from that kind of a blow. I mean, the SF is going to need to get some huge item. Like Butterfly is great, but he might even need an item on top of that to deal enough damage during these fights.
Yeah, so he's got his right coming out here with Rise. But of course, as you were saying, the fact that Ember Spirit, you know, is indeed one of the greater base defenders that you can have on the side. With that slight, with that cleave, with the crit.
Yeah, if you're defending high ground, he is actually the most important hero.
Yep.
Like, without a doubt. Sure, Shadow Fiend Requiem is great, but yeah, the refresher is done now.
And I was going to say, something we don't see every day. Dazzle getting to a point in the game where he's actually been able to finish off an Agnes for the team.
He's been taking a lot of farm. I think Vega played the style fairly often. You know, you think back to TI3 era Alliance where EGM took like a crap load of farm on a position 4 hero. I think Solo kind of does that for them most of the time. Like he played Lina earlier, did the same thing. And it can be very effective. Like this Dazzle is damn tanky. Like 1700 health. That weave, it's actually like an insane amount of
what was it? 1.25?
1.75 with
24 seconds.
Yeah.
That's a lot of armor.
So you're getting almost 50%.
Almost 40 armor, I think, at the max.
Yeah, but the increase itself is like around 50.
Yes.
If you want to ballpark it. Obviously it's not actually 50, but it's close.
It's going to make it better. It's such a good item to have against Sing with the Sleight of Fist. You know, the AoE armor boosting up, ticking up for the push-up. Suddenly that Sleight of Fist is barely going to tickle you.
Well, not only that, but they have Lads and Assault as well. So they're actually, I think they actually have too much armor. Like, even with the presence of the Dark Lord, they have too much armor. It becomes less valuable after, like, I don't know, 50.
I mean, look, this Disruptor's just walking around now with what? 51 armor? 50, that's a lot of armor.
Like he peaks
60 armor?
At 60 armor 60 on a 4 base armor hero. Oh, went forward Hex.
Alright, Demon. Piggy.
Double Force, nice. Okay. This is actually overkill armor. Well, we are seeing that.
I mean, it could be what does the job here for this pushing.
The nice thing is the downtime on Weave is pretty much nothing. It's like 16-second downtime or something like that, which for an ultimate of that magnitude is not too bad.
I mean, just what are they going to do to the push? Pasha goes straight in with the Abyssal and the Hex onto Rise. Rise will get forced off away, but it glimpse back into the center roll is there. He'll get off the Requiem, but he still goes down, and he's down for 80 seconds. They just can't fight into this Monkey Freedom Fighters, and Vega, they'll take the tier 3 in this top lane. I just don't know what the side of MFF can do to stop this. They're trying their best here, but Pasha blinks in, moves on to Demon, and Demon, he's going to get taken down. Wicked 6 streak out for no one. Even Knight's got to run, but he gets glimpsed back across the Static Storm. The Sonic Wave, Solo from the Absol's nice. Now the Chain Frost as well, in fact. They found Solo. Pasha's getting low as well here, but he's going to have the cheese. Pops himself back up, and we're in a position where MFF are losing 3 heroes. They did lose 4. The buyback was there from Sing, but he's been hexed up. Pasha's going to move in. The glimpse back is there. He needs a bash. There it is. Living up to his name, Pasha Bashu. And that is game indeed. MFF putting up quite a fight. Game one they could take, but at the end of the day, Vega, they pull through. And in the end, the armor was too much, Andy. Too much for MFF.
I think 60 armor on all 5 of your heroes turns out to be pretty good when you're pushing around. So, a couple of things this game. I really feel like Vega, they did kind of struggle, but mostly it was just pushing high ground, really, that they had problems with.
Yeah.
When they go high ground 2 times in a row, second time especially, they got really punished. They were over-aggressive. They had an Aegis when they started the push that faded midway through, and then decided that, okay, maybe we shouldn't be diving like tier 4s, and we don't